Hello and welcome to Contact Sport. I'm Paul Kennedy. Now, Robbie Dean's Wallabies are improving and give themselves a chance of beating the All Blacks for the first time in a long time. But the Bledisloe Cup match isn't the only big rugby event in Melbourne this week. The annual Weary Dunlop Lunch was an opportunity for the new super franchise, the Rebels, to unveil its colours, logos, song and some leading personnel. The biggest name of them all is coach Rod Macqueen. Before we hear from him, let's listen to what the best Rebel recruits think of their new coach.
Sort of been doing the same thing for quite a few years, so really excited about sort of learning from him, and it'll be stimulating, I think, to try and learn a different thing. And I know that Rod's going to probably push the boundaries a wee bit and push us as players to think and adapt and challenge ourselves. So really looking forward to that. Yeah.
Rod's got a proven track record. His history as a rugby coach and as a businessman has been very successful. So. What Melbourne offers and Rod as a coach is very exciting for everybody involved.
Obviously he's got a reputation that's right up there in Australian rugby, and he's a bit of a hero in that sort of department. But I'm just really looking forward to working with him and his, a guy like him and his inexperience. The type of game he wants to play, and I've been over in England for quite a while and always wanted to play Super 14 and play under someone like Rod. So. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the experience.
Rod's well known as an innovator. He's proved that with the Brumbies. He's already stated that he wants to bring the point of difference to Victorian rugby and the Rebels, and I think he's well credentialed to do that.
I think it's very exciting, certainly from my perspective. When I heard that Rod was on board with the Rebels and initial dialogue with Rod, I was very excited. Very close now to actually start getting out there and putting that on the paddock. So Roddy always is very innovative and likes to do things outside the square. So we're looking forward to actually doing that.
Sterling Mortlock there. Now, Macqueen is, of course, a World Cup winning coach from 1999 and the most successful Wallabies coach ever. Before that, he achieved remarkable results in setting up the Brumbies and coaching the Waratahs, and in business, initially as a commercial artist and most recently a mentor for bosses of internationally renowned companies. It was my pleasure to catch up with Rod Macqueen to talk about his new job. Rod, welcome to Contact Sport. Firstly, can I ask you about this weekend's game? You've said it's a critical match for the Wallabies. Are they at a stage now where they can beat the world's best?
Well, we'll find that out soon. I think that the main thing is to play against the world's best is a fantastic opportunity, because it's like a litmus test. It's going to give them an idea. They're nearly 2 years out from the World Cup, or a year and a half out from the World Cup, and they've got a great opportunity now to see where they stand. And you can play, you can have certain standards. You can win games against some of the lesser countries in the world, and you probably sometimes get a false impression. This is an opportunity for them to know exactly where they stand and what they've got to do. So if they come close, that'll be fantastic. If they win, it's even better. But I think the main thing is to understand how they sit, how the game goes, and they'll learn a lot from it. So it's going to be a very important game for them.
And you're a big believer in team harmony and on-field strong leadership. Do you think that this team has got the structure in place in those regards to win the World Cup next year? I know Bob Dwyer said that they can't win the World Cup.
Yeah. Perhaps it hasn't yet, but I think there's time for that to happen, and it probably starts. It starts now. It's just this period of time is going to be very important to them. So I suspect that Robbie Deans would be now really wanting to shore up and have a very good idea of what that side's going to be when it runs out for the World Cup series. And so, I think it's got time to do that. There's some good young talent in there, but it's time to start consolidating, I'd suggest.
Well, let's talk about the Rebels and your role specifically. When you left the Wallabies about 9 years ago now, your record was incomparable. Why put your reputation and your resume at stake by taking such a risky move to be the head of professional rugby in Victoria?
Yeah, well, that's an interesting question. Risk is a really interesting thing too, because the players that I'm talking to come down, firstly, to the Rebels, it's been very easy to select them, because some of them would look at it and say, I'd like to come, but it's a real risk. And I'd say to them, look, I think it's better you stay where you are. And the reason for that is that, you ever do anything great without taking a risk? And, it's a wonderful opportunity. So all the players that are coming they're taking a chance, but they want to come, and they want to come for that reason. And certainly that's been behind why I've made the decision, because I'm in a situation in my life where I can do this, and I haven't wanted to get back into coaching in any way, and had a lot of opportunities, obviously. But to a city like Melbourne, to start from scratch, all the opportunities it offers, I think it's very exciting. So
you didn't miss coaching in the time you were away until this point?
Definitely not. No, I didn't have any of that side of it. And I'm really looking forward to getting a tracksuit on. It's been very business-like at the moment, but I'd love to be running around the oval with a tracksuit on again. It's going to be some exciting times. We're going to have 30-odd players and their families and wives coming into Melbourne, and all starting afresh and all looking towards a new challenge.
Now, we must sort of draw some parallels to the Brumbies here, because you established the Brumbies and did virtually everything there, right down to designing the logo. How different has this been? Not so different, because you've had a say in the logo this time.
Look, it's been very different. Everything's, we're now 10 years into professionalism. That wasn't, the case then. It was the first year in professionalism, so we're really starting off. We've got a lot of competition out there, and we had less players to choose from because a lot of the players were already contracted. So that side of it's different. The other thing is just the support that comes from Melbourne. It is a sporting city, and so that's been fantastic, and it's certainly one of the reasons. I think it can be successful. So those things, being in place, I think make it quite different. But the same things do apply. We are starting from scratch, which is a wonderful opportunity, because it takes a lot of the baggage out of it. The other thing is it's a private consortium that's involved in this. So we've got some of the top brains in Melbourne business involved, and I think that's that's exciting, and it does give us an advantage.
Well, I want to pick up the point you make about professionalism, because when you were so successful with the Waratahs and the Brumbies, you brought your business acumen and your leadership management skills. You were more or less a professional in an amateur age, but now that's changed, hasn't it? Everyone's professional. So how do you keep that one step ahead?
Well, that's going to make it tougher, I've got to agree. Look, I don't think there's any difference between business and sport, and I think that in the mentoring role I play from a business side of things. The same principles apply for success. So I think it's entwined in everything we do. So look, there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to we'll be going through a business process of what we're going to do, and the players will have an input into what we do, and hopefully we'll enjoy ourselves along the way, which I also think is very important.
What about this logo that we've seen now? And it represents more than just a picture or something to put on the jersey, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And when you're sort of looking to bring a new side, it's important we understand what we are and what the brand is. And so the board sat down for quite a while, and we went over what the ideals of the side should be, and so once we really understood what it is we wanted to be and what our vision was and so on, we're then able to depict a logo. I guess that sort of that encompassed all those things, and I'm very happy with the result on the basis that it really does entwine what we're about. As we call it the Shield of Excellence, and every player that's signed the contract understands what it means.
And their work with the community as well. They've all signed off on that before they actually became Rebels players.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got what we call a 5-star pledge, and each one of those stars represents one of the stars that's on the Victorian flag. It also represents the Southern Cross, obviously. And what we've done is we've put a pledge to each one of those stars. So, and I guess that's the point of difference with this side. So the acronym of REBEL comes through by the R is for respect, and respecting yourself and your opposition, which I think is very important.